How's the arm feeling, bud?
Yeah. How's it going?
How's the arm feeling?
It feels great. Definitely rehab's been going well, and we're on track to definitely playing season.
Have they told you what your pitch count or your innings limit might be?
I don't know yet. Just trying to get there a little bit. We've been throwing. I threw my first bullpen on Tuesday. I got another one today, but very excited.
What's that process been like? Can you just go back to March?
Yeah.
And walk us through it.
It's definitely very long. You have days that feel like, am I really getting anywhere? But throughout the whole process, I've definitely made huge strides, and I'm just excited to be back on the mound.
What was the toughest part? Was it physical, mental?
Probably a little bit of both. You have days where it doesn't feel very good, and then you have days that you honestly don't want to do rehab, but you got to do it. And that's kind of what makes it happen with the rehab is if you do it every day, even though you don't want to, then it's gonna help in the long run.
Were there any days, especially that were kind of breakthroughs that you remember?
Probably about a week ago. Throwing the first flat ground. That was a big breakthrough. It's just like I'm actually a pitcher now. I'm not just throwing it. Being a robot. So that was pretty cool.
Were you able to focus a lot more on the mental game the last year or so when you can't long toss, you can't throw bullpens? What part of your game did you sharpen while you couldn't throw the ball?
Being a spectator and not a player, you see the game a different way. It actually probably helped me a little bit. You see your players or your teammates and stuff go out there and compete. Sometimes you can't see it as a player. So I helped a lot of the guys out with that, just getting a different look on the game.
From your perspective, how has the rest of the staff kind of come along? We've sort of heard from Willie earlier that it's kind of a day-by-day process, but from your perspective, how has it been working with some of the new transfers in particular, and from your perspective, where's everything at?
Everybody's great. Everybody's got their head on straight, and everybody gets after it every day. So I think we'll be really good this year, and I'm excited to see it.
Who are you most impressed with so far?
Everybody. Yeah. There's not one guy, but everybody puts the work in, and everybody's been really good.
When you threw for the first time after your surgery, in the 6 months, what does that feel like for someone who's not gone through the surgery?
Surprisingly, it felt great. It was weird. It was like, wow, my arm, it doesn't hurt at all. You throw to 45 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like riding a bike. Just it's right back on.
What's it like working with the new coach now, new manager?
He's great. He knows baseball more than anybody that I know, so it's good to learn from him. And I'm just excited to have him.
Going through that rigorous rehab, what do you think you learned most about yourself throughout that entire span?
That's a tough question. Probably if you just put the work in, stuff's gonna happen. Pretty much everybody's gonna get Tommy John. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but if you play baseball long enough, you will get Tommy John. Just getting it out of the way, and I'm just excited to be back on the mound.
With the current state of the pitching situation, how do you feel about trying to? Is there any feeling of wanting to accelerate you back in, or can you just have to be patient with it, or?
I just got to listen to my body. They're definitely listening to what I have to say. But I just take it one day by day, and I feel great right now, and hopefully we keep moving forward with that.
Willie talked a lot about trying to establish the culture that he wants. What's your perspective about how that's evolved over the last 7 months?
It's been great. We hold each other accountable, and if there's any mess ups that we haven't had so far, which is great. But if we do have some, then they will get handled, and then we'll move on. We'll stay as a unit. For sure.
He talked a lot about Pat Murphy and kind of his time in history.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
What have you taken from that?
It's just great. They just have the same mentality, and they just want to win.
Come March, April, when you're expecting to be fully stretched out, where do you see yourself? Do you expect to be seeing the order a third time through, or you want to be shooting for complete games, anything like that?
I don't know. Right now, I'm trying to focus on the first couple of weeks or whatever, trying to get through that, and then when the time comes, I'll think about that.
What's the TNT stand for?
Sure. It takes no talent. There's a lot of things where we have a lot of talented guys on the team, but there's stuff that takes no talent to win a championship.
What's your experience been like with Coach Peraza so far?
He's great. He's a great dude. great coach, and I have nothing bad to say about him.
What have you taken away from the messages you've gotten from Coach Raza so far?
Well, we haven't had much time together as far as throwing and pitching and mechanics and everything, but we're starting to get a little more close. I'm actually gonna throw a bullpen after this, but he's great with all the guys.
Bias is back, three new catchers along with them. What have your conversations been like with them this fall and now heading into the spring?
They're all great. I actually haven't talked to them much, just because I haven't been with them. But as far as the other pitchers, they all love him.
How does going through this Tommy John surgery, kind of this process to get back on the field, how does that make you a better player? Because the last time you were on the mound, you were dominant 2020, and then you had last season. Like, how does that look to you?
I'm just excited to get back on the mound. I'm not going to take it too crazy and stuff. I'm not going to make a bigger picture out of it. Just get on there and hit my spots and see what happens.